What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome. Another round of applause for you, boy. Once again suspended from TikTok until Thursday. Take that. Oh my God. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 724. Sponsored by Midnight. Title sponsor is Midnight. Landy's in the green room, and he's consistently talking. As when I go on, you see, like holding myself back. I know why I got suspended on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. I bring on Landy and I bring on Rob Nelson. Rob Nelson has a show on the network Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Rob went ahead and probably said something. I was sitting here and thinking, why? I didn't say a goddamn thing. The only thing I said was, I can't wait until I get outside. I can suntan my balls. You guys can see the tan that I got. I was riding my bike, worked out, jumped in the pool. I actually got wonderful compliments. This weekend. They're like, God damn. Anyway, I'm not even kidding. That's actually what happened. Mad compliments. Hey, listen. I even asked Grok. What the time is. Grok told me, man. Shout out to Grok. Anyway, we have Crash coming on at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go ahead and talk about the markets. My good friend Crash. That's right. Go ahead and talk about the markets. Again, this show is sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Shout out to Charles. Charles taking a little break here from social media because you bastards don't deserve him. That's right. Come on here whining all the time. Why is it like you're chasing out everybody. You guys are absolutely chasing out everybody from this goddamn space, man. I've stated that for a while now. By the way, who is right? Who is right? You motherfuckers, who is right? I said Sailor would sell 32 and buy back lower in the 60s. The video's out there. Video's out there. And he bought back lower. And you know what? I hope he continues to do that. I hope he continues to sell and buy lower. You guys complain and dog him about his average. I fuck with it. I like it. I like it. Sailor, send it to 30. Send it to 30,000. Let's show everybody a good time. Well, this is why people don't want to get into the markets. Don't get in then. Half of you motherfuckers pulled out money and you went into the traditional market. And I get it. You're chasing. And good luck to you guys. Maybe you'll catch a win. A lot of you guys are going to go in, you're not going to pull out profit anyway, so. But the cool thing that happened this week was even though me and some friends were talking in real life, where we were talking about the markets, people asking me, hey, should they buy Bitcoin? Should they get into Bitcoin? Same token, we were talking about the market, but again, people were like, "Hey, like there was a newfound interest in Bitcoin." It's like if it goes a little bit lower, I won't miss it this time. So that conversation did happen. For the first time in months, that conversation was like, if it goes down lower, I won't miss it this time, and that was cool. That was cool. But it seems like big money though. These are people with good networks. It seems like big money is a little bit focused on crypto. So we shall see. We shall see. Shit will get interesting. Shit will get interesting. Sam Bankman-Fried has filed for a pardon. If Sam Bankman-Fried gets a pardon, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, I'm not going to be happy. I am not going to be happy. I want to show something. By the way, shout out to Polymarket, shout out to Cake Wallet, and shout out to Quad Network, okay? Let's not forget the people that allow for this show to stream to you from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. By the way, I was in the sauna. I just work. After every single workout, I go into the sauna to, speed up the recovery process. And for some reason, like I really I snapped my head up real quick, and like I don't know, just felt like I ripped things in my neck or some shit, man. It was just anyway. It was funny to me. Sam Bankman-Fried, if he gets a pardon, I swear to God, I'm leaving the United States of America. I'm moving to Canada, man. This is that would be some bullshit, man. That would be absolutely some bullshit. But let me say something. If that motherfucker did not get caught, if there was not a bank run on FTX, holy shit, would this dude be absolutely filthy rich, man. That dude who tried to destroy crypto, who started with the Democrats and did everything possible to get rid of DeFi, that man would be sitting on money, okay? That man would be sitting on fucking money. Like stupid fuck you money. That's what Sam Bankman-Fried. And by the way, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say this out loud because I need to go ahead and look at it before I say it out loud. And so I will say it tomorrow. I will talk about it tomorrow because I'm thinking, and maybe you can go ahead and maybe you can go ahead and figure out what I'm trying to figure out here. But if Sam Bankman-Fried gets pardoned, then there's a play to look at in crypto. I'm just saying. I am absolutely just saying. Are you serious right now? Is Bits gonna be here every day with this bull? Another Landy? Did Landy bring his brother here, bro? Anyway, let me pull this up real quick. Hold on 1 second. He said, is the mic a little bit off-centered? Maybe a cross-sided. Yeah, goddamn. Appears on Landy's show. Him and Nat appear on Landy's show on Friday. And now they think they can come in here and tell me and fuck. Never mind. You know what? Let me calm down today. I'm hype. I'm a little bit hyped up today. All right, let me go ahead and pull this out here. Polymarket. By the way, there's a lot of shit going on in politics, man. There's a lot. I know he sent you, man. I know he fucking sent you. 100% I know who sent you. You think I'm stupid? I know exactly what's going on. You guys are here to sabotage me. Fucking Rob. Rob went ahead and got me suspended on TikTok. Yeah, that's right. That was him who got me suspended. Anyway. On Raw Alerts, but I saw this on Polymarket either way. Rubio takes lead in 2028 U.S. presidential election odds, surpassing J.D. Vance for the first time ever. That is wild. But it's not, like, I'm not blown away. I'm not blown away by this at all. Thank you. First of all, it's not just my hair that looks good. I look good, okay? I fucking look good. I make suits look good, okay? The suit doesn't make me look good. I make the suit look good. I make my hair look good, okay? I make the goddamn suit look good. But again, it seems, you know, I think we've talked about this, and I think Rubio is probably just the favorite within the Republican Party. And plus everything that he's doing, you know, there's memes about it where he's taken over the coaching reins of the New York Giants. And like, I think the Republican Party is more so behind Rubio than they are Vance. And this is nothing against Vance. I actually like Vance, but I think the party more so would love to see probably Rubio run and and run for the presidency than they would for Vance. So, you know, I don't know. Just saying. I don't know. Don't know. But Polymarket has it out there that for the first time, Rubio has surpassed Vance. And again, like I said, it's not unexpected. Like I said, I make the suits look good. Welcome to The Breakdown, episode 724. We'll talk about crypto. I think we're close to the bottom. I think we are close to the bottom, but this is not the time to go from a bear to a bull. This is a time to just accumulate. That's it. Just accumulate here. Just accumulate. That's all. Okay? Landy is going to come in here and tell you that it's all bad and it's going to $2. Bits came into the chat to tell you the same shit's happening. I've been watching Bits. I know what he's fucking putting on his timeline. They're both here to go ahead and push the market down further. All I'm saying to you guys is just, hey, DCA, do what I do. Well, a lot of you guys don't leave the house, but do what I do. Get on a bike, work out, get a haircut, jump into the ocean, jump into a pool, work out, lift weights, DCA, and go away. Right? There you go. Go away. Let's bring in Landy. Let's go to Landy. He's in behind the scenes in the green room. Now he's live for you here. He's talking about what he's doing. I could care. Hi, Landy. How's it going?
Hi, David. Isn't today a great Monday?
Man, again, it's going off. Again, I bring you on. All of a sudden, the audio as well. It's going out, and the monitor is like holding on to fucking dear life here. But go ahead, and I'll try to see if I can hear you.
It's the power of the puppet.
Um,
I mean, it's undeniable. I enter a room and just electricity everywhere.
yeah, that's me. But I'd like to thank you and Rob for getting me suspended until Thursday on TikTok. Just want to give you guys a round of applause.
Thank you. Thanks, TikTok. I appreciate that. Can't give an actual real take there. I don't think TikTok. I don't think TikTok likes when you're not an unhinged lunatic on the left.
I think it had nothing to do with that. I know exactly why.
Wait, what?
And now, the very moment I said we're done with TikTok, it was Rob that his fetish for microphones is what took us off of TikTok for the next 4 days.
Oh,
Yeah, his
interesting.
fetish for. So I can go live on my phone, which I refuse to, but I can't go live on the stream.
I'm telling you, behind the scenes with like the phone just propped up there on a stand, like you doing the show just straight up, like behind the scenes, like it's like behind the scenes in a news studio, and you get a little glimpse of how the show is put together. I think it would do well.
Well, the markets, and I'm gonna stop being an asshole here, but I kind of said, I was just laying out yesterday, and I was just talking to some of my friends, and I was just like, if Sailor buys back here, the markets are gonna get hella bullish. But I also said this though. I wish it was him selling. Like I wish, besides the 32, I wish he was selling more into. I wish it was him that was pushing down Bitcoin's price. I was really hoping for that, but him buying 1550 Bitcoin. I mean, I honestly, and obviously he came out with a tweet yesterday, but I felt like he was buying back regardless. 100%, I was confident.
I think, yeah, I mean, that's inevitable. I don't think they're going to stop buying. And
But
I don't think
he
the
did
market.
the right thing though. Before you go, I think this is the right strategy. No pun, but this is the right strategy to go ahead and do, is to, sell, make it go lower, and buy back in. Like I'm not against this. I am absolutely for this. At some point, people are like, "What are you talking about? It's going to send the markets down." No. At some point, people are going to say, "You know what? The markets will not react to him selling." So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Are you going to say hi to David? I know you like David. My son wants it. Are you trying to say hi? Yeah. You say hi. No, say hi. Hi. Just say hi with your voice. He can't see sign language. Say hi. Yeah, he's looking at you. Right at you.
What's going on?
Little boy's off for summer, so he is he's obsessed with your show, David. He's like, look at that guy over there.
Obviously, he sees
Put together.
Yeah.
It's like,
He
this is a
sees-
complete contrast of my father, who's a mess right now.
Dad got a bowl of cereal next to him. Look at me. Dad got cans all over the place. Got out the football helmet with the.
Yeah.
Let me tone down my language now. Thank you very much for letting me know. Okay, that there's a kid next to you, and now I have to go ahead and. I can't curse. It's horrible. What are you doing to me? Anyway, Landy, let's get back to the markets. So, okay,
Give me like
go
3
for
minutes.
it. Go ahead, do your thing. Tell me when you're. What the hell is going on? do your thing. Hold on. We'll bring Landy back. Landy will be ready in 3 minutes. Okay. Welcome to the breakdown. Okay. Welcome to the breakdown. Got caught off guard. I got fans everywhere. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in from the chats. Some of you guys are tuning in from YouTube. Some of you guys are tuning in from Kick. Some of you guys are tuning in from X. I appreciate it. Okay. But like I was telling Landy, I was very confident that Saylor was going to buy back Bitcoin and buy back at a lower price. And I think, when he says test, right? He says something about testing. So when he sold that 32 Bitcoin, he was testing the markets. In my eyes, I think he was. And he tested your conviction, and we saw that a lot of you guys have zero conviction in Bitcoin, and you saw it go down. And I think he bought at 65,000. Could have waited a little bit more and bought into the 60, but it's okay. Like, shout out to him. I would continue to do it. I would absolutely continue to, if I was Saylor, I would continue to sell, watch these lettuce hand motherfuckers sell their Bitcoin as well because they get nervous, and then buy back in lower. There's nothing wrong with that. Sell, buy back lower. You guys always complain that Saylor, or you always joke on him that, Saylor, his average is 77. Okay, cool. Saylor, use everything in your power to go ahead and lower your average. I'm for it, because I'll buy right there with you. Listen, I'm not buying $101 million worth of Bitcoin, but I'm buying. I am a buyer. I am absolutely a buyer right now, 100%. So I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. And then people are complaining on the timeline. Oh, it's not fair. Saylor went ahead and sold 32 Bitcoin, got everybody nervous, and now it buys back lower. Like, what do you want here? 1 minute is he owns 5%. That's not cool. The strategy owns 5%. That's absolutely not cool. The dude sells 32 Bitcoin. You guys get upset. Why is he selling 32 Bitcoin? Why is he buying? Saylor buys back 1,550 Bitcoin. You're like, why did he buy back? Which way do you want to go with this? And like I said before, if Bitcoin is depending on Saylor buying, and if Bitcoin can't hold when Saylor sells, we got bigger problems. I keep saying this. We got bigger problems in Bitcoin than Saylor. And the percent that strategy holds. Way bigger problems. We should be at a point where if Saylor does sell, it doesn't affect the market, that the market wants Bitcoin, that there are buyers waiting to buy up whatever he sells. That should be it. Not, oh my God, panic. And then everybody's panicking when BlackRock is transferring money over to Coinbase. Like, it's crazy. Like, guys, like, Bitcoin should be able to survive any of this stuff. Any of it. And what'd you think when the institutions would come here that this was going to be like, oh, what do you think? They're just going to buy and not sell? Like, what'd you think when institutions were going to come into the game or announce that they're officially here? What did you think they were going to do? Just buy for you guys? Transfer the wealth to you guys? Was that your perception the entire time? Because that is stupid. I can tell when I read some of the comments, whether it's in my comment section or it's on the timeline, when people are saying, how can they do this to us? Are you crazy? You think the institutions are going to take trillions of dollars and give it to you? Like, here you go, guys. Here you go. Do whatever you want with that money. Do whatever you want. Y'all are a bunch of, you guys are a bunch of assholes. You know why? Because you refuse to study. You refuse to look or do any sort of research about the crypto industry. You refuse to understand how the retail markets work. And that's why you suck. Okay? That's why you guys are staring at 1 minute charts. That's why you're praying that your pump.fund token that just launched 3 seconds ago, you're praying that it actually works out. You're praying that it changes your life or gets you back to even. You deserve poor. Okay? We're back with Landy. Landy, what's going on?
Hey. Well, On the deserved poor part, I don't know if people are going to end up more poor or not after this particular move in Bitcoin in particular. What we have seen though, traditional markets, big sell off at the end of last week, coming into this week. Obviously, we've got some pretty big events coming up with IPOs, SpaceX, and then there's like a series of them coming up. Nice little rebound for TradFi, and we'll see kind of where things land though. Um, the big thing with something like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is, something that you and I have discussed here, 58 to 60, we got a sweep of the low, but we did see that weekly structure broke down on Bitcoin with a closing lower low. So the big thing now is going to be looking at whatever we see here, um, whatever we see here on longer term timeframes relative to what we're seeing on the daily. So the daily finally came down and tagged this zone. Obviously, a lot of the structure had already shifted in through here. Right before, or Sailor actually made a good trade. Actually, I think he was above cost basis when this was actually sold, because he
See,
sold the.
people get on him. There goes Landy getting on him now.
No. I'm saying that he was above cost basis. It was a
Yeah.
good trade. It was. It was after the breakdown, hit support. He sold the retest of resistance. And then it's been down. And specifically, I'd been talking to you about 70 to 72. People got sick of me saying this, but I said this is where the rubber hits the road, because Bitcoin either needs to bounce here at the daily, which was the daily inflection point where we changed trend and actually went on the run to go and test the monthly 82.5 to 83. So once 70 to 72 was lost, I said, that's kind of where the rubber hits the road, because if we get below there on closes, this is the area that would need to hold. And if it doesn't, we're going to come right back down to the bottom side. And if we lose it, we're going to go for the lows. We've now seen that move. It's an extended move, and seeing a bounce, over the weekend into today, not surprising. If we do see 65 broken above, I would look right back to this top side zone. There's a fair chance that if we see closes above $65,000 here, that we could get a run for 68 to 70 and possibly even 72. Things would actually look pretty interesting if we saw it rally even further than that. But I would just be aware, if we see this break down, the big thing here is the weekly. And the weekly structure is
What the fuck?
God,
Yo, my bad.
that's
I don't know.
amazing. I could chart that. Hold on. We could chart that. Um,
Oh, yo, I don't know what the fuck I clicked just now, man.
That's amazing. It's saved as a preset in the studio.
It is saved as a preset.
That's amazing. Oh, I love it. But here's my big point that I really want to stress. I had been talking about this not being the actual macro low, and this was now proven, right? It was not. We just had a lower low right into a big area of interest. This 58 to 58.8 right here on the bottom side that was just tagged is a big monthly area of interest to around $60,000. Now on the weekly, we had uptrending structure here on the lower, on the lower term relative to the higher term trend. So we have this higher term trend that is down, right? And we had this nice little uptrend coming off the lows. Many are now going to call this a double bottom. You're going to see that all over the timeline. They're going to be like, look, it swept the low. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is clearly a double bottom. If you miss it now, you're dumb and like all this kind of stuff. I've already seen the posts on the timelines and social media. The reality is that there's still nothing here showing that this is yet confirming any kind of a macro low. It's about where do things go next. So my big point here is that because we broke structure, no matter what happens, what would need to change? This would need to absolutely rally and melt faces close above 82.8 because the last higher high in the weekly, and then it would need to put in a higher low. That's actually where the real opportunity would be. And the reason that I bring this up is because I just don't like this narrative that people push of, oh, you missed it, you're dumb, and da da da, you should have listened to me kind of stuff, because it's just not factual. There's a high percentage chance this still heads down significantly lower. But what we would need to see if it was going to be a bottom would be a move that closed above this 82.8 on the weekly, which is a big monthly level, and then a higher low, equal low relative to that. And then you begin to carve out. And honestly, I've said this right along. That's actually a viable path. There is a viable path there to confirm around this area being the macro low. It is not as statistically likely um, as it stands right now. But if Bitcoin can hang here and start trudging through the summer and get a nice rally and then a retrace, retest into a higher low fashion, absolutely viable. Is it my first take on what's going on here? No, because as it stands right now, this is just another compression on the way down. And we would need to see this entire structure start to shift, get a recompression of volatility, and then take off to the upside. So realistically, you would want to see something like this, and then this out the other side that takes a while in terms of structure. For this to become, because you'd want this to compress some more and then really shoot back up.
Randy, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say, and I know I've seen what you've put out there and I've talked to you, but would
Yeah.
it be fair to say that the lowest will go now at this point? And I think it would be fair for all sides, I guess, is we go ahead and hit, let's say the bottom's 55 and we bounce from there.
That would be a viable structure. Look, here's where
You know
I'm
how
looking.
everybody calls for 40,000? Like, it's kind of like, it reminds me of when, when Bitcoin bottomed at around 15,005 ish.
Yeah.
People were
Kind of.
calling for like 11 and 9 and 7, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, they were looking just much further down in terms of the support and resistance. And so I actually am in line with this line of thought. I think that if we get another breakdown, which would only happen, and this is what I wanted to show you in the audience. I know you all have seen this from me, but just a reminder, we break below this low, we start getting expansion. It's mid to low 50s first. So basically 52.5 to 56 here being key areas of interest along the way. And then it's down to 48,000 to 50,000. I don't have 50,000 marked here on this particular chart, but there is some interest around that area. It's a bear market lower high. It's the ETF highs. It's the retest higher low of those ETF highs. Very, very significant area. So if we do start to break down from 60K, get below 58 on closes, very, very obvious area between 58 and essentially 48. I think that would be very similar to what we saw in terms of everything else that we're seeing in terms of charting that we saw when we hit 17.5 on spot last cycle low, and we rallied into, the $20,000, $23,000 level and then dropped it. Right. So that would be, let me get this off the chart here. We're in a very similar spot to where we were in terms of other charting metrics. Very similar spot to what we saw over here. We came down and we retested this low side structure on the closes, got a little bounce, and then another leg down, and then boom. So I would not be surprised to see us move from expansion like we saw last time into compression, a big shot down. Everybody's looking for way lower, but we just kind of trudge sideways and then recover. And it just takes a little while. So I think that is actually a viable take, that we end up with a much higher macro low than many are projecting. I get why many are projecting extreme downside from here, akin to the types of volatility to the downside that we've seen before. And here's the reason why, because it would really be on the razor's edge if we do see a breakdown here into a big zone of interest on this bottom side. So if we were to drop the lows, there's a beautiful weekly area of interest here. There's some higher term time frame structure over here as well from some of the highs that came in prior to the high and over here. So big thing though, this big area here, another $10,000 zone, essentially 38 to 48. So we got 58 to 48 to 38 and a half. This is one of the reasons why this big zone on higher term time frames coming out of the bear into the bull market, this zone really didn't get a lot of price action. But if you look left, where this is kind of where the prior lower high was, we struggled with it coming into the actual launch of the ETFs, which was on the 10th of January. High came in on the 8th. We came down and we tested a monthly level here. So I see and have it on my chart too for much lower. But the fact of the matter is, this area of interest right here, I think that if we have similar price action to what we've seen, and all of the metrics are kind of pointing to this in other areas, and Bitcoin can hold the 48 to 50 if it does drop the current lows, I think we see that area start to become, that would be my first pick for the macro low area. Unless Bitcoin continues to go sideways here, but I could still see a spike down at minimum into the mid 50s at minimum.
Can this be? And this is I'm going to ask you questions
Yeah.
as if, no, not as if. It's what's a lot of retail is asking me. They're like, "Yo, we've been sitting at this spot already. We've come down to the spot multiple times.
Yeah.
Can this really be the bottom?" And like, I don't trust the institutions. But they're out there also saying like, well, 60's bottom. And Saylor said 60's bottom. I think we've hit bottom.
Or around it.
Could this be it? Like, Landy, and what percent would you give this as it being bottom? Listen, nobody's gonna hold you to it. I'm just saying, what percent in your? I know.
Well,
what
I mean,
you think
60K
going,
wasn't
I'm saying,
the
what
bottom.
percent could it be here?
I mean, 60K wasn't the bottom. Could this area over here be the bottoming area? Right?
You know what I'm
Because
saying? I'm not saying 60.
yeah, no, I get it. But like right around here,
area.
like we're close essentially,
Yeah.
right? And I would agree that we are close, just not in terms of price action just yet,
Correct.
because we need to see it develop. But I just, this is where I need to pull this, right? This zone here on the monthly, we're just at the top side of it. I would struggle to think that we wouldn't come and grab this area, which is essentially mid 40s, 45 on the close open to $48,000. That's an area of interest, right? That was the area of interest coming into the ETFs. Most of the money that flowed into ETFs flowed in on this spike down to this accumulation structure. So I could see a ton of demand coming back in from those ETFs, those spot ETFs. Why? Because this right here was the bottom post ETF launch. This was the top right here at 49K that was coming in just 2 days prior to the ETF launch. We saw things drive down in this January 24 candle to 38.5, which was this monthly over here. And then absolutely most of the accumulation happened in here. Billions and billions and billions of inflows after the highs came in at 73,835, all the way down to a retest of, guess what? The ETF high. This bear market locked in lower high, right? So this is absolutely a massive institutional zone. But I would caution, and I think that this is where the smart money comes in. But I would caution anyone kind of thinking that it can't possibly go below or even swing below it, because, if you're an institution right now, it's a lot of the bigger players. I think, somebody said this. I don't remember who said this. I obviously cannot take credit for coming up with this, but I also had the same kind of thought. You saw the news about BlackRock's doing the 1 day OTC deal for 1.2 billion
Yeah.
in shares. This tells me that that's not like a portfolio manager managing their clients' accounts, right? And that's somebody was under stress and duress and had to offload that, and that caused a bunch of redemptions from the authorized participant for the ETF, which means they're selling spot on the other side. So when you're thinking about, like, if you're in traditional markets and your portfolio manager puts you into Bitcoin, remember, not a lot of people, it's not like a sizable amount of IBIT, for instance, that is in people's portfolio. It's probably up to less than, it's probably 1% or up to 2% on the high end. Maybe some people are a little bit more aggressive and they've got, 5% IBIT. But think about, that person is definitely not calling their portfolio manager right now, telling them to sell anything outside of taking profits. Why? Because even if IBIT shares in their portfolio are massively down by 50%, they don't even care, because they're just, if they look at their full portfolio, the rest of the market is ripping, new all-time highs, right? They're just taking profits in markets at this point, in traditional markets, because if you just look at your portfolio, your portfolio is massively green. In some cases, your portfolio might even be up, depending on how good your portfolio manager did. You could be up 150%. You don't even notice that your 2% IBIT shares are down 50%. And what would a smart portfolio manager do, David? They're going to say, hey, there's discount over here. We've got premium over here. I'm going to sell a little bit of premium and get a little bit more discount. And we're right at the top side of that discount range. I said to you, 60K and under, perfect buys. You could even say 65 and under is perfect buys, but that doesn't mean that it can't go lower. And that doesn't mean that you one shot this area, you give it some time, right? So for me, I bought as soon as I've had 58 to 60 marked on my chart for a while. I had spot orders at 60K. When it first went down to 60K, I didn't get fills at 60K. So I'm like, if it goes down to 60K and sweeps it, I want to get some fills for spot. So I filled spot here, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to fill more lower if it goes lower. So I'm willing to say that there is a lower percentage chance that this is the bottom right here in terms of ticking the bottom at the sweep of 60K. It's a fairly low percentage chance, not never. And there is a viable path for it to become the actual macro low, but more likely, highly more probable, is that we go lower for liquidity, even if it's just quickly, for another leg down, and grab a bunch of liquidity and fill some of those orders from some of these institutions. It's a beautiful time for a portfolio manager to have all of the portfolio ripping and then being able to find value at the furthest end of the risk curve. Um, I think that many underestimate and think that, like, this is a developed structure right here because of the time down. The other big thing here, I'm going to warn everybody, is we close here like this. This is another bearish. This is another bear drive of bearish divergence, and realistically, it's pointing towards around $50,000, right? If we were going to go test some RSI levels. Are we there on Stoke? No, this is actually where some of the biggest moves happen, is in this zone. We already saw one big move back down since entering this zone. So, we're not there yet. The structure is not developed yet. So I think we get another leg down. I think you take it 10K at a time with some stop points in between. Especially, below this area. If we start to drop 60K, especially on weekly closes, we'll probably test the mid 50s very quickly. And then I'd be looking 48 to 50K as being a very significant area of interest. And you can see that when I was talking about 50, the 58 to 60K, that's also where we've got a lower second standard deviation, or 2 deviations away from a mean. And it's right there this area right here is ripe for the taking. And then you can see that even on the lower $40,000 side, right where the close opens are right here, we have a lower third. So that's in the 40s. So you take it, any breakdown below the current area, 48 to 58 is the viable zone. Any breakdown of 48, you're really looking at 38.5, 38 to 48 as being the viable zones. But I think we're close. I personally think that we have a higher percentage chance of bottoming inside of this structure than not. But I absolutely would not rule out lower. That's my take on it. And I'm conditioned. I do conditional analysis. I need to see it break down. We got our areas filled out perfectly on the chart. So I'm happy, and I'm trading and I'm accumulating, here and under. Especially when it comes to time frame. Because here and under is the play. But yeah, beware of this compression. There's only two ways for this to resolve. Below the lows to go test this low side area, this high side area, this high side area, or we see a breakout above the actual 82.8 or 82.5 to $83,000, and then we see it break back to the top side structure. That's the only way this is going to play out. One of two ways. It's either going to break this top side, upper second, expand in the next big area, retest all of this, and then try to retest all of this over here. Or it's going to break down below the lows, retest this, and potentially retest this.
I'm only laughing because this dude said, dude, if my Bitcoin goes sub 50, my alts are going to be down over 100%. What the fuck am I supposed to do, man? I'm fucking dying.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Accumulate, buy more.
Listen,
Get that DCA down.
This is I'll say it from my end. I think regardless of what happens now, you should have already been accumulating in my eyes. But this is the perfect zone to go ahead and start buying up. I don't know. It's just, for me,
I
this
started
is the zone
my
that
spot
I'm buying.
accumulation below 80. I told you that.
I get it. Yeah. I'm just saying, though, like, if you are waiting, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't think there's anything to wait for it at this point. It's just like, you should really be DCAing. I'm talking about for spot buyers. I'm not talking about for traders.
Yeah.
For spot buyer, like, I think this is the zone for you. Like,
I think this is the prime. This is it's free real estate, as the meme goes. Yeah, it's especially below 80. I picked up on the way down, right in through to the 60. I didn't the initial time I didn't get orders at 60. I finally got some orders at 60 for spot on this last rundown below 60. But the big thing is like this is the first phase of my accumulation for, I layer in, and this is about having a plan at the end of the day. A lot of people are just one-shotting it. They're taking all their free-flowing capital, and they saw, they waited, and then when it was a higher low on 65, they one-shotted it. They enjoyed the ride up to the overhead resistance, and then now they're scared as hell because they're underwater. But realistically,
this guy's making me laugh. I'm sorry.
He's funny. I was reading a little bit of it. But I think here and under, even if this were going to turn out to be the bottom, I would need to see a structure break to the upside, and then I just accumulate the next higher low. Like I'm not married to. I have my orders down below, right? You ladder in, and your buys get bigger to pull the entry down from when you first start, right? Just have a plan for how you're going to do it, and then have a plan for if we don't see lower, and then we see a structure that does resolve in this local area, that you get in on the higher low. I mean, that's what you don't one shot an aggressive downtrend. You DCA into the aggressive downtrend.
For sure.
When it ends and it starts to turn around, then you can, you have a trend on your side that you can actually get in. You just don't go away. A lot of people get bored and they go away. and then they miss it. They miss the turn in the markets, and then they're chasing every high, and they just get absolutely wrecked.
Well,
Especially
this
if
is
you're
this
new.
is perfect though. Like the markets right now are looking at AI stocks and SpaceX, and SpaceX comes out, Elon becomes a trillionaire, first trillionaire. Well, on paper. Um, but this is like perfect. This is perfect for people to look. You know what? From yesterday's conversations that I had when people mentioned Bitcoin landing for the
Mhm.
first time, retail outside
Yeah,
of crypto Twitter said,
where there's
"Hey, like,
grass.
if it goes down a little bit further." Like people were like, "If it hits 55, right?" And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm not laughing with like I'm laughing inside. I'm like, "Shh, man," because like you have a bunch of people that are ready to put not they're not trying to buy half a Bitcoin or some shit. They're trying
Yeah,
to get 10, 20 Bitcoin, and like in their eyes. Like
yeah.
that's what they're going for. So I'm like, that's where I guess that's where the bars are gonna come in. Around I mean, if I was around 9 people yesterday and all 9 people said that's where they're looking, 55 to 58 to go ahead and start getting into Bitcoin, how many more people are talking this way?
I don't know, but it seems like they're watching my analysis then.
Oh my god, here we go.
Look,
Give him a round of applause. That first time ever that I gave him the claps. Oh my god, what
I appreciate that, David. I appreciate you. I'm
claps.
bowing behind the microphone. And yeah, also no Diddy.
Guys, Mondays today, okay? It's June 8th. You know what time it is. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Landy goes on, okay? And he breaks down the markets. I'm going to sit back on this one and watch Landy's show as he breaks this down and tells us that we're going to 24. Don't get excited, okay? This is he's coming on here. He's being nice, but him and Bits are going to be, Bits is already charting $9, okay? And Landy's being nice enough. He's still 64,000, right? Bits is at $9. He's at 64,000. Okay, and I mean 24,000. So tune into Landy's market update at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's gonna break it down for you. Okay, he's gonna make you feel like you were those people in I think it was in Texas that were stuck upside down on that roller coaster. Man, he is absolutely going to put the fear of God in you. But like absolute 100%, you have to think this way. It doesn't really matter if it goes to 24 because that is an awesome buy-in. Like that's how you have to think. When Landy tries to scare you and say that it's going to 19,000 or 3,000, you're like, hell yeah, that's an opportunity. I'm going in. I'm selling my cat. Okay, I'm putting my cat on eBay. And I'm using the money to go into Bitcoin. That's how you have
I
it.
kind of want to make those calls just to get everybody super fearful, but I think they're all already out of money in Bitcoin.
You know what? Before you go, you know what
Where's the liquidity gonna come from?
the one thing that will teach everybody a lesson, and you know what's funny? I think the opposite is going to happen this time around because I'm going to say it, and the opposite always happens. I feel like that's Jewish luck playing in, but this will make you concentrate on building out your crypto portfolio with real assets, and then go into memes. Not go all into memes and forget and because Landy, I know what some people were doing. They went all into memes, hoping that the memes will go up, and then pulling out profit there and going into Bitcoin. And that I don't think that worked out for a lot of people. So I think build your castle, build a foundation now, and then go ahead and fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I think if you were weighted like 90-10 memes to Bitcoin, you need to readjust that weighting this time around.
Readjust, bitches. Readjust. Shout out to Hanak.
Yes, he's a Bitcoin alum.
I already told Hanak. I told Hanak that he made me sell all my Bitcoin and go all into memes. So
he's he's a Bitcoin alum now. He's been waiting for this.
Yes. And he's going to come onto the timeline and say that I told you President Trump was the greatest president of all time. I told you to go into Bitcoin in the first place. I know what Hanak's going to do. You know, Hanak every day, like Hanak is, and if something bad happens, he's going to say Trump sucks. Like I can't with Hanak. He's great. Shout out to Hanak. Good guy, man. He's a good guy. He's not El Knock. I came up with that phrase though. El Knock is not a bad guy. He's a good lad, man. He's a good lad, and he's a Tesla driver. So you put that together. Anyway, Landy, it is always a pleasure to see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Obviously, I will watch your show tonight. Shout out to your twin, Bits, that is on the timeline. He's now adjusted from $9 Bitcoin to $7 Bitcoin. So, guys, you can also give him a follow, and shout out to your whole crew over there. What is it? What is it? What is it called?
Well, there's ATC, and then there's the crew of Wolf Bitcoin traders. So there's a lot of crossover between the two.
Yeah.
And we we were talking about me being backstage here, so Bits had to come through and make sure. I was like, I don't think he's gonna read the private chat if I start trolling him in there. So he understood the mission. He understood the mission. Came right into the regular chat.
Unreal, you motherfuckers. Anyway,
but much love, David. Thanks for having me as always.
Shout out to you, Landy. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. You're a good guy.
Well, I let them
even
tell
if
me.
Even if you and Bits and the whole crew are shorting the market, you guys are good guys, though.
We're not real Bitcoiners anyway. I'm just a
Thank you for liquidating all of us. We appreciate it.
Anytime. Glad to be of service.
Bye, Landy. Well, that was Landy. I love Landy. Landy's my boy. Landy's my boy. Landy's my boy. I like Landy. I like his little crew. What is it? The ATC crew? Is that really a thing? You guys got that tattooed on you guys? ATC? And what? Wolf Bitcoin want to be starting something? We can make this a Michael Jackson video. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Sponsored by, obviously, Midnight, Cake Wallet, Polymarket, and Quad Network.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Can't believe my picture came out there. Again, my rap album. All right. Let me put. I can't believe that shouldn't have come onto the screen. Anyway, welcome to the Breakdown, episode 724, sponsored by Midnight. Also sponsored by Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of my personal brand and the Breakdown. Also, Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet just had an update on their wallet, so you guys can go to your app store and get that update to update your wallets. Cake Wallet is dope, man. Shout out to Cake Wallet. I like that they're all over the place at all conferences doing their thing. Quad Network. Yeah, Donnie, that picture, man. I'm gonna print out some pictures and we'll sign them and send them out because I think that's the right thing to do. Autographed pictures of me. By the way, we are not on TikTok until Thursday. Okay. I can go live on my phone, but I will not set up another camera to face me. Okay. I'm not gonna do that. Man, look at this. This dude said you were young. Like what am I here? Am I old here? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say in the comments? Anyway, I'm not getting bullish on the market. Okay, just because we Michael Saylor went ahead and bought 1,550 Bitcoin doesn't mean I'm going to get bullish. I'm not, but I am bullish on the fact that I believe that we are closing in on the bottom, and I think this is an opportunity for myself to grab some more Bitcoin, maybe even Ethereum, but definitely Monero. Definitely Midnight. Yes, the show's sponsored by Midnight, but I'm going after privacy. You can even say Zcash. I'm taking flyers, man. Yo, look, even with the news that came out with Sam Bankman-Fried, where he's applied for a pardon, you know exactly where I'm looking. Litecoin, also, like there's a lot of plays that you can get into and build a nice, solid foundation. And then you can look at the memes. Like you guys, I know a lot of you guys come in here and you love the memes, but I'm just saying, you build the foundation first before you go there. I said pardon. The fuck did I say? I said pardon. Didn't I say pardon? I'll rewind. By the way, my New York Knicks are playing tonight. My New York Knicks are playing tonight. Okay. They're playing tonight in New York City. Do you understand? Do you understand the madness? Do you like when respectfully, when Big W is talking about he's cool with the crowd. Let me say something. There is no crowd like a New York City crowd. There is no crowd like a New York crowd. We've been waiting for 27 years to get back to the finals. We've been waiting for over 50 years to win a championship. It is 2-0, and the series is not over. The job's not done, as Kobe Bryant, the great late Kobe Bryant said. But this is a different Knicks team. I don't want to jinx them. But I watched that last game. They got shooters from everywhere. They got people that step up. This is not just a 5-man roster, man. Everybody can nail a three-pointer. Everybody can nail a big shot. And when the refs aren't playing against the Knicks, they're unstoppable. Towns is unstoppable. Mitch Robinson is unstoppable. You got them two. But let me say this. Towns right now, respectfully to Brunson, but Towns right now is the MVP of the finals. If they win today, Towns is the MVP. He has been taking it to the rim. He has been playing great defense and offense. The New York Knicks robbed Minnesota on this trade. Like, that was the worst trade that the Timberwolves ever made. Like, you gave away Towns for nothing. Respectfully, for nothing. Everybody would take that deal all day long. And Bridges has come alive. Bridges has been here too. Bridges has been on the Suns that were up 2-0. That's why, if you listen to the Knicks' entire team, they're like, when they're asked by reporters how it feels to be up 2-0, and they're like, no, tonight's game is 0-0. We're hungry. We're desperate. That's what you're here for, and they really mean it. They're not just saying it. They mean that shit. This is a different Knicks. You know, it's disrespectful. They won 13 games in a row, and people are still finding ways to disrespect them. I hope they win. Like, obviously, I'm a Knicks fan. I hope the Knicks win. I really do. I do hope that the Knicks absolutely destroy the Spurs. You need a New York team to be good. It's good for the NBA that the Knicks are doing well. That last game, game 2, they did everything. The NBA did everything possible to hand the game over to the Spurs. The refs, it was the New York Knicks versus the Spurs and the refs. It was terrible watching it. Towns got called for fouls that I don't know. Mitch Robinson got a technical, which has been taken back now by the NBA, but it was horrible. But I'm excited for the game tonight. President Trump will be in the building. He's going to sit in the skybox with James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks. Respectfully, you know my thoughts on that? I wish that Trump wouldn't have came to MSG. And the reason is you have the fans that are not going to be allowed to be around Madison Square Garden right now. And that sucks. Like, that really sucks. I think Trump would have been better off not to come to the New York Knicks game. Better off just watching from the White House. Seriously. Because now people got to wait 2 hours before entering the arena. They got to go through crazy ass security checks. This happened at Bitcoin 2025. The same thing happened at Bitcoin 2025 where like people couldn't bring in bags because everybody's there. Secret Service is checking all this stuff. I think it would have been best to allow the Knicks and the Spurs to really play and have the Knicks fans gather where they always gather. Now I think they got to go to Bryant Park to go ahead and watch it and cheer on the New York Knicks. It's not a bad place to be, but I'm just saying in general, it's. I think he should have stayed home on this one, like respectfully. But the refs did. Like the refs were calling garbage ass calls. They let the Spurs play physical, but they didn't allow the Knicks to go ahead and play physical. The script, though, was absolutely torn apart by the Knicks because I believe the NBA thought that the Spurs would win. They want Wemby to. They obviously want to make Wemby the face of the NBA for the next 10 to 15 years, even though his knees won't last that long. Okay, somebody that big is obviously going to get injured in the next 3 to 5 years, and I don't wish that upon him. But it's just the wear and tear of the NBA. It's going to happen. He's going to jump. He's going to twist his ankle, and that shit's going to lead to other injuries. I don't wish him. I don't wish for that to happen to him, but it's just that every big man in the league, you know, they only last for a good, 8-9 years before they start breaking down. And those big men were like 7 feet tall, 6'10", 7 feet before they started getting injuries. This guy's like 9 feet tall. This guy's not, and he has no muscle on him. No muscle. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown. Welcome to the breakdown, sponsored by Midnight. And I talked about this. Really bad job by the crypto industry, by the crypto community in general, chasing out some of our big time innovators really doing a shitty. You guys have really done a shitty job. I'm not talking about if this doesn't apply to you, let it roll off. But a lot of people come on here just to go ahead and troll, and like I said, there's no benefit. There's really no benefit to being on X and building, because nobody's patting you on the back. Not that people need pat on the backs, but nobody's really patting you on the back. It's all FUD. It's all slander. It's all ripping people apart. It's nothing. There's nothing about encouraging people to build and saying, wow, wow, this is great. You're really building out there. This is wonderful. This could work in crypto and outside of. None of this shit is happening. None of it. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back. I'm really excited about the next game though. Like that's the one thing that I'm thinking about. I apologize. I apologize for this today. I really am just like, by the way, hold on. This is what I wanted to say too. I will be tomorrow, because I think this is fitting. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a show, and the show will be about me going in to Midnight City. That's right. Tomorrow, because I don't want to do it on the breakdown, because I don't think 15 minutes is good enough. I want to go in there and show you what it's like to participate in Midnight City. So tomorrow, after the show, or maybe before the show, we're going to Midnight City. I am finally entering Midnight City. You will see my avatar, and we'll do some really cool stuff. And apparently this show might be streamed live to Midnight City. I started thinking about this because besides telling you guys that tomorrow I'm doing this stuff, we're also going to bring on some people from Midnight. So anybody interested in hearing about Midnight and understanding the ecosystem, we're going to have some people from Midnight come on here. Not just Charles, because we have Charles that comes on, and he's probably not going to come on this month. We'll have him on next month, hopefully. We're going to bring on some people from Cardano and from Midnight to talk about Midnight. And I also want to talk about Cardano. I really do, because a lot of people have reached out to me. They said, like, Dave, I respect the way that you came out the community. I appreciate that, because I don't think, you know, an ecosystem that has been developed to where the community runs shit, you can't blame the founder anymore. It is up to you guys to get your shit straight. Hold on one second. I'm going to tell you why I told you to hold on one second. So hold on one second, because goddamn temperature, my cooling system is set to 72. I'm in a goddamn suit. I'm a goddamn suit. Anyway. Cardano's price, forget about price. You got to look, like, for me, it's like not about the market cap. If it's all about the market cap, then like there are plenty of other things you can go into and stay in them shits for 48 hours and then be gone. But if it's an actual project, you don't look at the market cap. You look at what's being developed and who's developing it. You look at the entire ecosystem and you ask yourself, is this really something that's going to translate outside of Web3? You have Cardano, where people from Bitcoin actually look into Cardano. You have Charles, who's very educated on everything within the crypto ecosystem. How are you betting? Let me ask you a question, guys. How are you betting against Charles? Let's break this down easily. How are you betting against him? He created Ethereum. Didn't you do well with Ethereum? He created Cardano. You did well with Cardano. And now he's built out Midnight. You're telling me that you don't think that Ethereum is... Look, I shit on Ethereum right now because you got Vitalik talking about just absolute nonsense. He's not talking about Ethereum. He's talking about things that absolutely do not concern Ethereum. Now, some people will say, you said Ethereum is going to zero. Now you're talking about market. Hear me out. I've been sitting here getting ripped up by every single person in crypto supporting Ethereum. I still have Ethereum. I didn't do this guy, whatever this guy did from Bankless, and sell my Ethereum. I'm not doing that. I'm holding. But I do want to see Vitalik step up already. I'd like to see Vitalik step up already. And if he can't, just give somebody else the CEO position. Let them run with it. Like, you need somebody that is going to go out there and talk to the people. You want to write decentralized fucking novels, do so. But you know what? You got like a lot of people got their net worth in your motherfucking project. You got Tom Lee's fucking, he bought more Ethereum. This man's like, what is it, $10 billion on the water? You think he wants to hear about decentralized books? Nobody wants to hear about decentralized books. Tom Lee right now, he's like 9 minutes away from bankruptcy. I'm being facetious, but I'm saying $10 billion on the water, ain't nobody. You imagine you put in millions of dollars, billions of dollars into something, and the founder is coming out talking about, you know what, man, I just want to let you guys know I'm coming out with a decentralized sci-fi fucking governance book. Like, I would lose it. I would absolutely, I'd faint. Vitalik, I get it. There were wars that happened in Ethereum. There was squabbling between the founders. You have PTSD. You don't want to give away the reins to Ethereum to anybody else. But at some point, man, like, go relax. Let somebody be the mouthpiece, the front-facing mouthpiece for Ethereum. Let them go out and go into spaces and go onto social media platforms and go and do interviews. Get people excited. Respect the meme ecosystem. I know you don't like memes, but you know what? Life is a meme. How many times do I have to say this? Life is a meme, okay? And everybody memes. And you had a goddamn chokehold on the meme industry, and you pushed it away, and you continue to push it away. Solana's embraced it. Do you know how many ecosystems have tried to bring in the meme economy? Tron, Justin Sun did everything possible. That didn't work out. CZ, BNB. Listen, they did well with memes, and there are 1 or 2 or 3 memes that still do well on BNB, but they tried and they couldn't get it. A lot of ecosystems tried to get the memes and they couldn't get it. Solana has done a great job. Now, serious people, air quote, serious people might say the memes are shit. Tell Van Eck that. If the memes are shit, why did Van Eck come out with a meme index? If they thought it was shit. Those are your future clients. Most people in crypto hold either Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, something major. They hold it. But there are people that just like memes. I like memes. That doesn't make me a your definition of shitcoiners is like, it's so stupid. That's like telling me if I don't buy anything but gold, if I start buying silver or copper, that I'm not a real investor. Just shut the fuck up. I love when you guys say, I love hearing it and reading this shit. Like, it shows me how dumb some of you guys are. Shitcoiner. Let me ask you a question. Me owning, like, this would be the same analogy used for gold. Like, if you're not holding gold and nothing but gold, but if you're participating in silver and copper, seriously, then you're not a real investor. That it sounds so stupid. If there's money to be made, I'm going to find a way to make it. I'm a market participant. You guys want to participate in only one market? That do you? The fuck? You guys want everybody to just participate in one thing. Let me tell you something. Altcoins help Bitcoin, and I'll still stand on that till this day. It helped Bitcoin. Regardless of what you want to say, altcoins helped Bitcoin rise faster to the numbers that you see today. It brought more people into the industry, regardless of what you want to say. We all can separate Bitcoin from crypto. We all can. Can you imagine if Vitalik, can you imagine this scenario? Vitalik puts down his pen and paper. You know, I don't know what sci-fi novel he's writing, but he puts down his pen and paper and he comes out here and he says, you know what? I'm going to support the memes. I'm going to support anybody building on top of Ethereum. And you know what? Let's make our own pump.fund on Ethereum. Ethereum's price starts going up. The memes on Ethereum start going up. And also, whatever's being built on Ethereum starts going up. That's what it needs to be doing. Don't change your PFP to Milady. Okay, like, stop. Okay? Stop. Just come out here as Vitalik. Actually, hit the gym. Vitalik, actually put on 20 pounds to 25 pounds. Get ripped. Okay? get ripped, and come out here and say, yo, we're making a comeback. I'm going to do everything possible to push Ethereum to the next level, especially in retail. Come home to mainnet. Vitalik says that, I am telling you right now. If Vitalik says, come back home to mainnet, you know how many people will come back? If he's serious about actually pushing Ethereum and pushing retail, that'd be crazy. But he's not going to do that. That's a fantasy, okay? He's not going to go work out. He's not going to gain muscle. He's going to continue sniffing robotic ass. That's why people are going to Solana and building there. Plain and simple. And you know what? Don't sleep on, and not paid by Ton to say this, but don't sleep on, or Graham. Don't sleep on Graham. Don't sleep on Telegram and what they're going to do there with their blockchain. Because once the bull comes back, people will be looking at the main drivers to go into to profit. There are people that come here to make money. They're not here to sing Kumbaya and hold hands and say, we're going to make it. They're not doing none of that. There are people that strictly come in here and they're looking for the best opportunity to get into. That's it. You guys hate people like that. You hate people who come here to make money. Well, that's why everybody came here. People came here to make life-changing gains. They didn't come here to hug with you, okay? To sing Kumbaya with you. When Jesus. None of this. For real traders, they didn't come here for none of this shit. They came here to dominate and win. They came here from traditional markets because they saw an opportunity to go and make more money. That's it. A lot of these people don't give a fuck about your code. Here's the biggest thing though. 50% of these people will stay here because they fall in love with the tech. 50% of the people will stay here because they fall in love with the tech. They'll fall in love with a certain ecosystem, they'll stay here. And they'll build a brand around it. You know what's funny about Cardano? So many people say that they don't like Cardano. They hate Cardano. They hate Charles and Cardano. They believe that it's vaporware. If you believe all this stuff, if you believe that Cardano is just vaporware, that their constitution means nothing, that they're not a decentralized governance ecosystem, then why do you continue to mention their name? You know why you mention their name? Because just one post about Cardano will up your engagement for the entire week. That's why you mention the name. And you might not even have Cardano. Most of you guys don't. But you know that if you mention Cardano, you are definitely going to get likes and retweets. Good, bad, or indifferent, if you mention Cardano, you are definitely going to get likes and retweets. And that's why a lot of you guys, you don't really hate Cardano, but you have made it clearly obvious that talking about Cardano is going to up your engagement and somehow you'll monetize on it, which I haven't seen any of you guys monetize on shit. This is the one thing that we have to fix in crypto, where we eat ourselves alive here. We really do. By the way, what I wanted to talk about today about the pardon for potential pardon, which I don't even think happens, but Sam Bankman-Fried applied for a pardon. So I said, man, I'm going to look into FTT. Like, I'm going to look into FTX's token, because imagine if he gets pardoned, guess what happens? FTT goes up. In my eyes, that's what's going to happen. Like, automatically, based on nothing, is going to go up. So I'm thinking, like, why not, get a bag of FTT and just take a flyer on it? Same way I'm doing with Sui. Sui's having like Sui's having these problems. It reminds me of Solana. When Solana was having its hiccups, Sui reminds me of that. It's at 77 cents or some shit like that. To me, I'm taking a flyer on it. Imagine if it goes to $5. I win. Why wouldn't I take a flyer on it? These are the things that you should be doing right now. These are literally the things like you should be looking into. That's what I've been doing. After doing, the show, workouts, conference calls, I'm trying to figure out, have I put myself in a great position for the next run-up? Because the next run-up is coming. It's basically here. The next run-up is here. Days fly by like this, man. You were just 20 years old. Now you're 50 and you're watching my show. Days fly like this. In the next 5 months, crypto's flying. Yet your portfolio sucks. Your port absolutely looks like shit. You know why? Because you've done nothing. You did absolutely nothing to go ahead and put yourself into a phenomenal position. You did nothing. Zero. And then you're going to complain that it's somebody's fault. You're going to point fingers at, whose fault is it? I said this to somebody. I said, I am a market participant. I can go and will go into anything I want. Anytime I go into anything, I go on the timeline and I'll talk about the things I go into. You should be proud. You should be. This is another thing. A lot of you guys are in 2021. People were happy to talk about their things, happy to talk about the digital assets, happy to talk about their NFTs and all this shit. Now people are scared to talk about anything because they think they're going to get super backlash. Fuck the backlash. Who gives a shit? Y'all care too much about people you've never met in your life. Y'all care too much about people you have never met in your life. I'm even looking at this, even though I still have it. Somebody from the Unicorn Fart Dust community sent me, I just got it. They sent me a sweater. I don't know if I can read this because I don't know if it would be disrespectful, but I got that right there. I don't know if you can see it. Damn. All right, there you go. I got the Unicorn Fart Dust. What is this? I got the Unicorn Fart Dust coin. Honesty, integrity, prosperity. Good attracts good. I respect that. Good attracts good, and that is true. Good attracts good. I don't know why people gave me shit for liking Unicorn Fart Dust. Obviously, the name makes me laugh, but Ron's a good dude. For the most part, the community is really good. Okay? We have somebody, I don't know how many times I got to say this. We got somebody who came in from the precious metals community. Ron came in from the precious metals community. Didn't know anything about crypto. His thoughts on crypto were absolutely different than they are today. And here he is. He shows up every single day for the community. And he enjoys it. Why would you hate on it again? I'm so lost. Why would you hate on Ron? Why would you hate on Unicorn Fart Dust? Why? Why? By the way, not paid. I don't know. Maybe I have to just say not paid by Unicorn Fart Dust. Have no partnership, no nothing with them. But it's just why would you hate on them? Why would you hate on him? What's the reason? Some guy who reports from Ron's basement on the markets, and especially now on obviously on his own, on his own token here. And it's climbed back up. So I don't get it. I don't understand. This is what I'm talking about, the hate. We hate people who show up. We want people so which one is it? We want people to show up. We want people to talk about our assets. We want the devs really to be behind what they build out and what we get into. And when they show up every single day, we have beef with it. We have something to say. We start spreading vicious rumors about people who show up and who are building every single second of the day. It's very weird. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't 100% I don't get it. Maybe it's just society. Maybe it's society. It's and how society's built out. Anyway, Saylor sold 32 Bitcoin, but he bought back 1,550 Bitcoin. That's right, at a cost of $65,000. So there you go, Saylor. And I said this. The tape's out there. I retweeted it. I said it. I called it. I said he would buy back into the low 60s, and he did that. He bought back into the low 60s. And I hope he continues to do this. I hope he continues to sell and buy back so the market's used to it. So the market doesn't, oh my God, Saylor's selling. Oh my God, he's going, the flywheel doesn't work no more. Like, did you hear the amount of shit that was being pushed on Saylor? He's going to lose again. Like, people are actually praying for Saylor to lose in our own industry, which is absolutely insane. He's the next FTX. This is going to be a bigger crash than FTX. You heard what these people were saying? Hate and dogging strategy instead of clapping. You guys want, again, I'm going to go back to this. You guys want to talk about the percent that strategy holds in Bitcoin? No problem. You could talk about it all day long. But to root for Saylor to get liquidated and fail and hoping that strategy goes under and calling it a goddamn scam and a Ponzi, that is wild. And at the same token, you want him to buy more. These are the same people that are begging for him to buy more. But then when he buys more, they complain. When he sells, they complain. Which one is it? Which one is it, you bipolar fucks? Honestly, man. Holy shit. I was actually excited that Saylor sold because it doesn't, if Bitcoin is reliant on Saylor to buy, and even if he sells, then we have major problems with Bitcoin. That's all I got to say. We got bigger problems in crypto if we depend on Saylor buying or selling. We got bigger problems in Bitcoin if that's the case. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's where we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. what we should talk about Spencer Pratt. What a disaster California is. What a disaster. Honestly, what a beautiful state. Like, California is a beautiful state. You imagine living in that disaster. Wow. Like, they're doing this shit in 4K too. Like, they are stealing his spot in 4K. Not one of these mail-in ballots that came in, I think it was 43,000 mail-in ballots that came in in a particular district. None of them went to Karen Bass. That says everything to you. Not one of them went to Karen Bass. I don't like wearing the tinfoil hat at all. At all. But after COVID, after what we went through COVID, my eyes opened up to all this bullshit. My eyes have opened up ever since I got into Bitcoin, but my eyes really opened up to this shit and how shit is played. Like, come on, 85 million people voted for Biden. Are we seriously going to sit here and say 85 million people voted for Biden? The most votes ever in the history of the United States of America for a presidential election. Biden got the most? Really? Like, if you would have said Obama, I would have been like, fine, right? But Biden really got more votes? Come on. Come on. We should never. Every other country on the planet is done in a day. Done within a day. Only our country, it takes 9 years to count ballots, and we have mail-in ballots. We should never have. Either you gotta show up. That's it. We gotta change the rules here. If you want to vote, you gotta show up with ID. That's it. You gotta prove that you're an American citizen, and you can't mail the shit in unless you're in the military. Unless you're in the military or you work for the government, you cannot mail in your ballot. I think that's fair for both sides. You cannot mail in no goddamn ballots. You show up, you register, and you show ID. That's it. And not ID from Planet Fitness, okay? I'm talking about real ID, a passport, birth certificate, whatever it is. You show ID. That's how you put an end to all this stuff. You put an end to it. It's same day, same vote. That's it. Done. You want to vote somebody, you want to see your Democrat or Republican get into office, you better be ready November 4th to go ahead and vote. You better get ready. You better have no vacations planned. You better be in your state and ready to vote. That's it. You can't have, this has gone on for 5-6 days, ballots still coming. That sounds crazy. That is absolutely insane. This will never go down in other countries. This is absolutely fucking insane. This is not no conspiracy theory either. This is absolute batshit crazy that this is even allowed in the United States of America. Can you imagine? We are the #1 superpower in the world, and we can't get elections right. Of course, people are going to have questions. You guys can go ahead and put, Democrats are like, look at them. The Republicans are crying. No. As an American citizen, I have questions about this fucking process. Forget about as a Republican. Forget about the parties. I have questions on how is this goddamn possible that we're going to wait 5 to 6 days and have mail-in ballots come in, and then all those mail-in ballots go to one particular person and nobody else. That is weird. It doesn't make sense. No, 0 sense. Do you know high earners in California get taxed over 50%? 50% tax. Federal, state, all this fucking over 50% in taxes if you live in California. What is the point? If you love the beaches, if you love the Pacific Ocean, I understand. I get it. But I'll take a vacation there. There is no way. 50%. New York's not any better. But holy shit. New York City hits you with 3, 4, 5 taxes. This shit is crazy. And that's why people are moving to Florida and Texas and to the South in general. They're trying to get away from all this shit. You can't survive in these places. You have to work 19 jobs to fucking just make it. Crash will probably be on this week. Crash will be on this week. We'll talk about memes. We'll talk about not just memes. We'll just talk about the markets in general. Damn, I just felt something. Felt something in my shoulder. Cramp. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to the show. Again, tomorrow, I'm going to do a separate show about Midnight City. That's right. I'm going into Midnight City. My avatar will be in my AI agent will be in Midnight City. That should be fun to go ahead and watch in real time as I go in to Midnight City, and also that my show gets broadcasted in Midnight City. That's right. I have had Crash on multiple times onto the show. It'll be good to go ahead and chat it up with him, to go ahead and have a conversation. It'll be fun. Let's go to the quote of the day. Quote of the day. Right after this break. Let's go to another break, and then we'll be back with the quote of the day. Right after this.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. I just want to. I'm laughing because I just saw a tweet and I responded to it. Tom Brady came out with a new drink. It's called Good Nut. This is something that I would actually fucking come out with, but I'm like, this ain't it, bro, though. Like, that ain't it. You imagine somebody says, yo, can I get that good nut? Oh, nah. Pause. Man, that is crazy, man. Yo, if you're going to the store, can you get me that good nut, please? Yeah, give me that good nut from Tom Brady. Whoa. Pause on that. Pause. Before I get into the quote of the day, I just want to say that this weekend, it was the first weekend that we had like 80 plus degrees. And I went to a party on Sunday and I really ate things that I shouldn't have ate. That's right. I went ahead and I ate some hamburgers and cheeseburgers, to be exact. I also ate fries, and I also ate pizza. My weakness is pizza, and yeah. And then I stepped on the scale, and I also had ice cream. So, also had ice cream. And as I was eating the ice cream, I had like this sad song come into my head. And I was like, I felt horrible. I gotta say, I felt horrible. As I was sitting and eating ice cream, I felt terrible. Because y'all have to understand, I've been training my ass off. If you guys saw, I posted a video of me biking yesterday. I'm working my ass off. Like, I'm really, and I had people, like, it was nice people, friends and stuff. They acknowledged, they were like, man. And I said, yeah, I'm working, training nonstop. And here I am, fucking eating pizza, hamburgers, fucking ice cream, bro. What the fuck, bro? I literally sat and I was playing a sad song in my head. So it means that today and this week, I really have to go absolutely crazy. So where I've literally been in the gym for only like an hour and 20 minutes. Now I'm going to be in the gym for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to be doing cardio, like crazy fucking cardio, like just to make sure I get rid of, what is it? I think I gained anywhere from 5 to 7 pounds. So that sucks. It doesn't look like it, but I was like, man, that sucks. That really sucks. And I was looking at what I ate. I was like, I ate like a fat kid. Yesterday, I got to tell you, I ate like this weekend, I ate like a fat kid. You know what? You can eat a cheeseburger and you're fine. Like you eat a cheeseburger and you're fine. You eat one cheese fucking burger, and it wasn't from McDonald's. It was definitely not McDonald's. And you're fine. But pizza, man, that is my fucking weakness. Like, you can eat one slice, but then like another one is just like, it's asking to be eaten. And then like you're a half pie in. Oh, I was so disappointed with myself. I was so disappointed. But you know what? I think people who train and work out and lift heavy, we're allowed to have a cheat day, man. Or 2 days of cheat days. Man, I am disappointed. I really am, man. I was disappointed. I was really fucking disappointed. Not when you're eating it, though. When you're eating it, you're not really disappointed in shit. But like, you're like, but at least I gotta say, I don't drink soda. So like, I drink it all down with water. So if that, I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Somebody told me, yo, it's good. Like I was hanging with my friends and they're like, yo, it's okay. Like you can drink soda with it. I'm like, nah, chill. And they're all down in Pepsi and fucking Coke. Anyway, here's the quote of the day. They will clap for a stranger doing what you do, but stay silent if you're. Hold on. But stay silent for you. It's not about talent. I'm going to read that again. They will clap for a stranger doing what you do, but stay silent for you. It's not about talent. Okay? There's the quote of the day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back on TikTok on Thursday. I'm not doing this whole thing from my phone. Like that's not. I'm not doing. Yeah, I said Coke, like Coca-Cola. Like some of the people here are just crazy. Anyway, Tom Brady, man, you got to change that name. You got to change the name to that. That is weird. You got to change that name. That's crazy. Let me get a hold on. What do you? Let me get a good nut. Nah, man. Nah, homie, that ain't it, man. That doesn't even sound like your brand, bro. Let me get a good nut. That's not on brand, bro. That is really not on brand. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, dope as hell. I'm out.